Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to Cricket Happenings. And in this Cricket Happenings show, we will hark back to last week's cricket events. There were some very good events that happened as far as test matches were concerned when Australia, on the last day of this very riveting battle with Pakistan, managed to not manage. I mean, it was a great victory, one could call. It was a challenging declaration from the Aussie captain Pat Cummins. The Pakistanis were bowled out. They were chasing a total of 350, and they lost the match on the final day of this of the Test series. Australia went on to win the Test series against Pakistan after a gap of probably 6 years. So well done, and Patrick Cummins showed that he's a very bold captain because he declared the innings closed by throwing the bait at Pakistan on the final day by getting, it was a possibility, 350 runs to get one full session between tea and close of play, and then the whole day. And he trusted his bowlers, and he himself came up with the goods. And finally, Nathan Lyon was the chief architect in the final innings because he knew the ball would turn. Nathan Lyon taking immense advantage out of it by picking up a fifer. So that is as far as Australia versus Pakistan was concerned. Now, right now, there are the other things that I'm going to speak on this particular cricket show is right now I'm going to just give you a live cricket update coming in from the third test match at St. George between England and West Indies at Grenada. And I can say that the West Indies are definitely on the front here in this second innings. England at tea time are trailing by 50 runs after today Joshua De Silva picked up a maiden test century. That was a fighting innings from him. And we know that this particular match definitely today is only the third day, but definitely the result is just on. Tomorrow I'm sure the game would all be over. And if not even tomorrow, even today, because England are trailing by 50 runs. West Indies took a very handy lead of 93 runs on this particular very treacherous pitch, one could call. Right now, as I am talking to you, the Windies are right up front here. England are struggling at 43 for 4. They still have 50 runs to wipe off the deficit. And we have a real test match on here at St. George in Grenada. I'll come back to that later. And also the Indian Premier League. And also let's talk about Bangladesh in the last week getting their maiden. They had never won a one-day international against South Africa. They did that in the first ODI. The second ODI went to South Africa, and the final ODI, the Bangladesh have shown that they have come here. It was uttered by the Bangladesh coach Domingo before embarking on the series of South Africa, that he said that now it's all about winning, and that's what they precisely did. Bangladesh went on to win their maiden ODI series win against South Africa in South Africa, and that's a tremendous feeling for Bangladesh. And as I said, Bangladesh definitely have a nice nucleus. Their experienced batsmen are coming good, led by Tamim Iqbal, the captain himself, who played a great hand with 87 runs, which was good to see. And I'll come back to that. But also, let me just tell you about the Indian Premier League 2022, which started today. And we had two new captains on either side with defending champions, Kolkata Knight Riders, the defending champion Chennai Super Kings taking on the Kolkata Knight Riders. And two new captains. Dhoni was replaced by Ravindra Jadeja, and Kolkata Knight Riders was led by Shreyas Iyer. And the Kolkata Knight Riders went on to win the match. The Chennai Super Kings lost the match. The Kolkata Knight Riders went on to win the match by 6 wickets. A job well done by Kolkata Knight Riders. So I'll definitely talk about that, but I'm going to briefly touch on what happened in the last week. So I'm definitely going to back to Pakistan and Australia. As I said, it was a historic series for Pakistan. As you know, no cricket has been played in Pakistan for quite a long time. Finally, cricket came to Pakistan. We had the first Test match, which ended in a very tame draw. People were criticizing the Rawalpindi pitch. Lahore was much better. It ended in a draw as well. And now the onus was on the final test. But as I said, what a declaration from Pat Cummins, the Aussie captain. What he has shown in this particular series is that he's a gung-ho captain. As I said, with one session and one full day to go, you really, as I know it's the coming to the final day, but still you require a challenging captain, a captain who is so bold enough, went on to declare the innings, threw it at Pakistan to say that go there and get the 350 or we shall. And that's what precisely happened. Aussies on the second, if you look at the the fourth day, Imam ul Haq and Shafiqul Muhammad, I suppose. He was Shafiq. He was doing very well. And I'm impressed by Shafiq. He's a good player as well. And they were doing a good job. And on the final day, Northern Line turned the match on its head with 5 wickets. And also Cummins and Stark also played a very good role. And definitely credit to Australia. And what they have shown here is that they have come into the subcontinent. They have mastered the reverse swing. They knew that when they are coming to coming to Pakistan, they need to pace and bounce is not going to be something which is a factor in the subcontinents, as we all know. It's all about really showing your skills. And with the old ball, and that was the reverse swing. And definitely, I thought Cummins and Stark in particular did a wonderful job there. So kudos to them. And also, this will give them the added confidence for Australia, because they know they would be coming to India as well. And they know when it comes to subcontinents like India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka, they have to really get their A game up. And it's all about getting into the skill set of the game. So congratulations to Australia. I'm not going to go into much of the performances. Usman Khwaja had an absolutely, he's in absolute pink form right now. Got the player of the series, and rightly so. Another 9 picking up the fifer. And then we go on to Bangladesh. Now, Bangladesh, as I said, picked up the maiden ODI series win against South Africa in South Africa. And that's a great feeling. And what Bangladesh have shown here, to come here, not getting any trial games, coming directly into an ODI series. Normally, when any team which comes to South Africa, or you go to Australia or New Zealand, you basically take some time to get adjusted to the conditions. So I take full credit to Bangladesh. Probably they came 1 week before, probably, but still, without not playing any trial games, they no first-class fixtures. They came there and they did it to the South Africans, and that is the big plus for me, because pacey, bouncy pitches that you don't get into your subcontinent, and Bangladesh, I thought, should deserve full credit. And as I said, the nucleus looks to me pretty good right now. Look at that experience there. Tamim Iqbal leads the show. He's the captain of the team. He leads right from the front, no doubt about it. Then they have Shakib Al Hasan, who previously was not supposed to, but one can say when Shakib Al Hasan is into the Bangladesh team, what a huge difference it makes in the batting and bowling department and the fielding. And then we have Mahmudullah, another experienced bloke. Mushfiqur Rahim, you can trust on Mushfiqur Rahim with his wicket-keeping batting. And I have to say, very impressed. And also Taskin Ahmed, who really led from the front as far as the final ODI is concerned, by putting up a wonderful performances, sticking to a line and length. The mantra being the sticking to line and length. That's what he precisely did. And look at what he reaped. He reaped a 5-wicket bag. And I'm sure it's his maiden 5-wicket haul, but definitely Taskin Ahmed is really looking the real Bangladesh bowler now as far as pace is concerned. He can ramp up the pace. He can bowl good, nice length deliveries, and I think he has improved by leaps and bounds as a pace bowler for Bangladesh, and he's the strike power of Bangladesh right now. And I think full credit to them. The young guns are firing. Afif is looking good. And also we had Mehdi Hassan Miraj is showing his true prowess as an all-rounder, contributing in both the departments. and I think he has been ably supported by the spinners as well, which has always been the case with Bangladesh. They have good spinners, and I think South Africa would be ruining the fact that they got beaten against Bangladesh in South Africa. Now, so Bangladesh definitely would be totally buoyed up by this success, and they would be looking for greater achievements in the future. And why not? I think they are really looking like the picture now, and I think they are in for some very great things in the future as well. So that's good for Bangladesh. So Bangladesh cricket is looking up right now. And let's go live now. I'll come back to the IPL, but let me take you live. As I said, it's tea time here between England and West Indies at Grenada and the St. George Park. This has been a low-scoring affair. If you look at the scorecard, let's have a sneak peek at the scorecard to just give you a glimpse as to how this match has panned out. Looking at it, this particular match, the toss was very, very vital, and the toss went into the bag of the West Indies, and West Indies, rightly looking at the conditions which were prevailing, immediately put on England to bat, and England were smoked out for 204. Now, definitely, one thing that one would like to say here is that last wicket partnership, what a partnership that was. Number 10 and 11 coming. I mean, one would probably feel, feel that the number 10 and 11 combining into a 90 runs partnership between Jack Leach, 41, with 5 boundaries, and Saqib Mahmood with 49, 4 fours and 1 6. Was it because the other batsmen not play? Well, one thing I could tell you, initially, when the ball was new, the ball was moving about, it was doing all sorts of tricks, but as the ball became more older, things started settling in. But also, full credit to the tailenders, Jack Leach and Saqib Mahmood, for putting 204 on the board. Kemar Rose, 2 wickets, 3 to Jayden Shields, who is definitely showing he's a wonderful test match bowler. 2 wickets to Kyle Mayers, a surprise packet there. 2 wickets to Alzari Joseph. And West Indies, in reply, were also struggling. They had the similar struggle as what the Englishmen underwent. But look at that man, Joshua De Silva. He's a shining light in this West Indian cricket team. Today completed his maiden test century in the company of these tailenders. Alzari Joseph, he contributed 28. Kemar Rose sticking it out there with 25, and 100 with 10 boundaries, occupying the crease as much as possible. And Joshua De Silva take a bow. And that's the precise reason in this particular match, the lead was very vital. And I think the West Indies are on the box seat right now. 297 all out, West Indies, conceding taking a 93 runs lead over England in the first innings. Wokes finally got his bearings right. 29, 25, 7, 59, 3 wickets. 2 wickets to Craig Overton and 2 Saqib Mahmood and Ben Stokes apiece. And England in the second dig, as I said, are really, really struggling. They are 43 for 4 currently. We are at tea time here at Grenada and St. George. And Alex Slees is sticking it out at the center, not out on 11. And Johnny Bairstow has just walked in, not out on 3. And the wickets to fall today, Zach Crawley was out to the bowling of Jayden Shields for 8 with 2 boundaries. Joe Root has just made only 5 runs. Mayers picking up 3 wickets. Now, this was Root getting a fat edge to a ball from Kyle Mayers, and that was the end of Joe Root. Dan Lawrence was clean bowled by Mayers, an absolute nip back where Dan Lawrence probably did not judge it well as he shouldered arms and the ball went on to hit the timber. That was it. And Ben Stokes, that was the big fish gone when Stokes tried to pull at a delivery, and it was the keeper, Shamar Brooks, who is basically keeping in place of Joshua De Silva, taking the catch, and that was it. So definitely, so that match definitely it's really, really in West Indies' hands now. 50 runs still to wipe out the deficit. The pitch is something which is conducive, which is really, really assisting. And I think West Indies have to really go for the jugular. They have to wrap it up as quickly as possible because I think more and more if they even, I mean, I think West Indies will definitely be able to do it. but I think definitely the match should be over tomorrow for sure, unless Western England England are going to definitely have a real collapse and fold up in a very, very meek manner. Well, from here, I'm diving to the Indian Premier League 2022, and this is the Indian Premier League, which is looking like a different Premier League. As we know, there have been a lot of changes that's been happening. The young captains are into place. There's a lot of things which are happening that are very, very new. The normal players who have been for the respective teams have been moved to different teams. We have two new teams coming up, Lucknow and Titans. And here comes the first match today at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. In the Tata, who has taken up the Indian Premier. Tatas are the sponsors of the Indian Premier League, the Tata Indian Premier League 2022. And what a game we had today. Kolkata Knight Riders winning the match by 6 wickets with 9 balls remaining. Chennai Super Kings were the ones who batted first. And if you look at the card there, it was really, one can say, the first thing that I would like to say is that the Chennai Super Kings running between the wickets was something which was really, really a scary thing, according to me. Because even though if you see Ambati Raidu was run out for 15, but that does not really tell you, because there were a lot of close shaves as well. And I think the running between the wickets had to have a much better understanding. Now, looking at the Chennai Super Kings innings, as I said, it was only the man, it was a new captain, Ravindra Jadeja, leading the side. He did his bit with the bat when the chips were down for the Chennai Super Kings. The Chennai Super Kings at one point was staring down the barrel, one could call, at 61 for 5 in the 11th over. And it took Ravindra Jadeja to stay there with his old captain, with the former captain and the current captain, combined into a partnership. But it was Mahendra Singh Dhoni who gave that respectability to the total with a cracking 50 by taking 47 runs of those 3 overs, which were bowled between Andre Russell and Shivam Mevi. Dhoni cracking an unbeaten 50 of 38 balls, and he looked superb. All his strokes were flowing from the middle of the bat, which was absolutely good to see. And Dhoni definitely had his struggle against Varun Chakravarti, the mystery spinner, and that was something that everyone could see. He was not able to pick up Varun Chakravarti's deliveries. And finally, 131 for 5, thanks to Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Not out on 50 of 38 deliveries, 7 fours and 1 6. Jadeja not out 26 with 1 6. And 131 for 5, the final tally. Looking at the card there, Gaikwad was out for naught. Rituraj Gaikwad continues to struggle. Devon Conway, who was making his debut in the IPL, was a victim of the ball. Umesh Yadav. Now, Umesh Yadav was the bowler who gave them the double breakthrough. And Umesh Yadav was superb. He was bowling with lots of pace. He was getting the ball to move about as well. And that was what resulted in the wickets of Rituraj Gaikwad, and also bowled a splendid line, which resulted in one getting the wicket of Devon Conway, who was caught by Shreyas Iyer, who was making his debut, as I said, Devon Conway in the IPL. But it was not a good shot. He tried to step out because Umesh Yadav was bowling every time on the right areas, and the only way that Conway could have wanted to go over the top against Umesh Yadav and perished. Robin Uthappa was the only one who looked a bit okay. Some 2 wonderful sixes and 2 boundaries in a sweet little knock of 28 of 21 balls, or a lightning stumping from the 36-year-old Sheldon Jackson behind the wickets. It was absolutely lightning stumping. One should see it really the way Jackson did it before Robin Uthappa could even think about it. The bails were off, and that was lightning stumping by Sheldon Jackson. Ambati Raidu 15. So that was the story of the Umesh Yadav. Got the man of the match award. As I said, he was pacey, bowling the right lines. 4 overs, no made 2 for 20. Coming back to the KKR team, Umesh Yadav 2 for 20. Maybe was costly, none for 35. Varun Chakravarti, the spinners did a wonderful job. Varun Chakravarti 1 for 23. And Sunil Narine, none for 15. Andre Russell still bowled well, 1 for 38. Kolkata Knight Riders in their dig 133. They won the match, but they definitely lost Venkatesh Iyer for 16 to the bowling of Bravo. Bravo was superb with his bowling, picked up 3 wickets, and he did what Umesh Yadav was doing. Definitely Umesh Yadav's pace was definitely more than Bravo, no doubt about it. But I thought Bravo also did what Umesh Yadav was doing. He picked up some important wickets as well. Ajinkya Rahane looked superb in his knock of 44. And Ajinkya Rahane, as you know, when he plays his stroke, it's a real treat to watch. And he was really flowing beautifully with his strokes, which was good to see. And that's a good news for Kolkata Knight Riders, according to me. Rahane making 44 of 34, 6 fours, 1 6. Nitish Rana made 21. The captain, cool as a cucumber, Shreyas Iyer, saw to it that there was nothing much happening there. Shreyas Iyer coolly placed himself, got the winning runs, not out on 20 of 19 deliveries. Billings played a good hand of a very effective 25, 22, 1 4, 1 6. Sheldon Jackson just got a knock there, not out on 3. 133 for 4 in the 19th over. The match was done and dusted. And Kolkata Knight Riders, Shreyas Iyer, as the new captain of the team, going big as the first match of the Tata Indian Premier League 2022 was won by Kolkata Knight Riders to start off, really start off the proceedings for the IPL. Tushar Deshpande, 3 overs, none for 23. Adam Min, none for 19, were costly. Santner, 1 for 31. Bravo is the pick of the bowlers, 3 for 20. Dubey, none for 11. And Jadeja, none for 25. And it was Umesh Yadav who was player of the match, as he bowled with lots of pace, and that was wonderful to see. Now, the other thing that I would like to talk about, we'll go live to England versus West Indies. The score has just moved by 3 runs, 46 for 4 at Grenada. And I'm going to just go into the match between Chennai Super Kings and Kolkata Knight Riders. Just wanting to say something here about Kolkata Knight Riders. Varun Chakravarti, as I said, and Sunil Narine, they were simply superb with their bowling. They bowled excellently, I thought. And that is as far as this particular match is concerned. We will the two matches that are coming up tomorrow. Mumbai Indians are taking on. I'm just going to have a look at it, and I'm going to tell you that is 2 matches that's coming up on a Sunday. Both the matches are going to be played in Mumbai. One is going to be played at the Bravo Stadium. As you know, there are 1, 2, I think 3 stadiums in Mumbai, which will be a part of it. And I think it's going to be Mumbai Indians tomorrow, RCB. There are 4 teams that will be on show tomorrow, and that will be really, really interesting. Kings and Punjab will be on show as well. So 2 matches coming up tomorrow. Delhi Capitals taking on the Mumbai Indians. Delhi Capitals, as you know, is led by Rishabh Pant. So we are going to have a wonderful time, no doubt. The Tata IPL 2022 has got off to a wonderful start, and you can't expect more than this. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I hope you all enjoyed this cricket broadcast of mine, and looking forward to your company once again tomorrow when I come up with a synopsis of both these matches that are going to happen on Sunday, the second and third matches of Tata Indian Premier League 2022. Unless till such time I come back tomorrow on air, it's all over from here, from my studios, and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Thank you.